Hey everyone, it is 10:38 p.m. here. We're back on digital platforms with an update on severe storms in the area. First off, if you have any reports, make sure you let me know there in the QR code. What we would like to do is right here, point out on the bottom there, see that QR code? You can scan that. I'm even going to do it myself because I can see myself here, make sure it works. You can scan that and it will take you to our WCIA3. Well, it looks like the page isn't working. I'll have to check on that. So just know maybe the QR code doesn't work, but you can search for the Apple and Android devices. You can search for our app. Let me try this one in the top corner here, see if that works. I'll have to check into what's going on there. And sometimes things, yeah, it looks like it's not working. Okay, our QR codes aren't working as much as I'd like. That's okay. You can download our app, Android, Apple devices, go to your app store and find that. We've got a severe thunderstorm still pushing through the area here. This has caused some big problems in Douglas and far northern Coles County. Severe thunderstorm warning will continue for the next 5 minutes or so, and I think it's going to be extended towards Brockton, Metcalf, maybe towards Chrisman here in the next 5 minutes or so. This storm has caused some problems out there. Big hail with it. Looks like the strength of it pulsing down just a little bit, but still enough where I think we had some pretty big hail with the storm there. So if you have any hail reports from this area, that'd be Arcola, Hinesboro, you've got Kemp, you've got Filson up there, there's Hugo, Metcalf sits here, Newman. I think this is going to be mainly along the Arcola to Hinesboro path will be the issue here. Oakland is next in line. I'm going to text my buddy down there real quick, see if he's got a report for us. Got a buddy in Oakland. He owns the Two Brews there in Hinesboro. He's the ag teacher at Oakland now, actually. That storm coming into Oakland, likely to be some large hail with that on Illinois 133. Seems like there's a lot of big hail north and west of Hinesboro. Now through Hinesboro, we had quarter-sized hail reported there, some quarter-sized hail reported in Arcola, but I think it was bigger than that. And this is going to continue off to the east, so probably Borton, Brockton, Redmond, maybe towards Paris, Chrisman areas will be next in line. Also have another storm on the east side of Charleston. That's going to be along Illinois 16 towards Ashmore and Kansas. Not warned for this one, still worth watching. By and large, this here has been our biggest storm causing the biggest problems. Did have a storm warning earlier in Shelbyville area, Shelby County. That has had a weakening trend here, not nearly as impressive. Still some thunder and lightning. And you'll see here now Edgar County is seeing some storms develop, but area-wide, there's really not much else to look at besides these storms. And so that is what we are interested in seeing here. Let's talk first off the lightning. Whew. Has there been a lot of lightning? At one point with these storms in Shelby and Moultrie County, I measured 740 strikes of lightning in a 15-minute time period. Electric storms, a ton of instability with them as they continue to move on through. And we'll do the latest measurement in the storm now centered over Oakland. And in the last 15 minutes, there's been about 500 lightning strikes. This is down to one storm. Before we had two storms. They get us that 700 number, so still very strong here as it pushes on through and moves in the general eastward direction. No new warning as of yet in Edgar County, but I bet you we'll get a warning coming for Edgar County in a minute here as there is a severe thunderstorm warning. They're estimating golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds with that. Let me show you the hail size here first off. That's the current look at it. Look what it was earlier, Hinesboro area. At one point, you see those red colors. That's starting to get tennis ball, baseball size hail northeast of Arcola as it moves off to the east. So someone out there got some big hail. At least it was in a rural area, but someone's farm field's there, and so certainly they've had probably not something they want to see. We're probably still seeing quarter to golf balls from Hinesboro to Oakland, somewhere out there. More quarters than not, but wouldn't rule out some bigger pieces mixing in. And that might be pulsing up a little bit more as it moves towards Brockton, crossing Illinois 133, heading towards Redmond. As it moves off to the east there, it'll cross Illinois 49 then here in about 15 minutes or so, moving on through. That's the name of the game right now. Jeremiah is saying huge hail in Oakland. If you have a size, take a coin. Is it a quarter? Are we talking golf ball? Are we talking bigger than that? Let me know. Size is important when it comes to this. You say, hey, hail, what size are we talking? We like to measure it. I mean, even if you've got something that's, maybe you got a something object in your pocket, a key, a credit card, things of that. Make sure your numbers are covered, but you can reference it to that, and that'll be something to watch. So Jeremiah's saying quarter-size hail now in Oakland. Not surprising to me. So that's what we'll keep an eye on. Let me talk about here where these storms are heading and what we'll watch for the rest of the night. Still have this storm warning in the Edgar, Coles, Douglas County area. That's primarily the biggest concern. I don't think we'll have anything for the next couple of hours in Champaign. Danville, we might get a couple of spotty showers. We had one roll through here earlier. That's going to continue its eastward progression, though. It should be out of here in about 30, 45 minutes. Assuming we have no more development through the night, I think we're probably good for areas, but I do think at some point we'll see some more development. And this is just one of those watch and wait type of events for us here, so we'll keep an eye on it. As I zoom out into the region, maybe there's something, a little bit of activity in Quincy trying to go, but not sold on that at this point. It seems like we've just had a little problem activity once the sun went down here in our area. And you can see those storms, how they just really took off and developed quickly there south of Decatur. You got one storm racing to the east, and then you had another storm dropping to the south there over Shelbyville. So we'll continue to watch that. Probably some good rain out of this too, but don't see much else here really showing up. So maybe we can keep things a little bit on the quieter side for now. But again, time will tell how that plays out. Let's here reset, talk about where the storm is. I do think 10:45. I'm trying to remember what time that warning goes until. This warning goes until 11. Oakland area. It's going to move off to the east. And we probably will get a warning for Edgar County here before long. Just sending a message to the National Weather Service about what we're seeing. So I would say there's a safe bet. You're going to get a lot of lightning and thunder out of these storms. Some areas might get some hail. It's not going to be the entire area, not the entire county, but there'll be a swath of some hail. And if you're in that area, you get some hail. Certainly it's not a way to enjoy an evening, a Tuesday evening like we've got, but we'll watch that accordingly and keep you updated. As far as our storm chances here, let me talk about the risk. 4 or 5 o'clock, I wasn't convinced we'd have storms tonight. It became more apparent. In fact, during the 6 o'clock news, I said, I think we're going to see some storms kind of pop here this evening, and they might cause a problem. Our severe weather threat has been pretty conditional today. If you're into the nerdy science things, I do have a post on my Facebook page that explains more about the atmosphere. And it's primed for storms, but there's a cap, and there's a breakthrough and bust it and whatnot. Really, the next 24 hours, we're going to monitor for storms. If they happen, they could be severe. It's a conditional risk, though, so stay up to date. Wind and hail, the main threats with that. Not really worried about a tornado threat, but certainly that's something that we'll watch and keep an eye on. So just kind of big, broad picture. Let me pull up some of our guidance. Now, this is guidance, and I haven't looked at the latest update, so I don't even know if it's going to be right. So, okay, right off the bat, I know this is wrong. This guidance says there's nothing there at 10:30, and that's been one of the issues is we've been finding time after time where these storms are popping up, and our weather guidance isn't really picking up on them, but we know the way the atmosphere is that it's primed for these storms. So I'll try another one here. This one's done pretty good overall. It's got at least something down there. It tries to fizzle that out pretty quickly. I think that's going to carry off to the east. Notice tomorrow morning there might be some storm activity out there. I don't think it'll be that impressive, but we might have some spotty downpours. That's going to probably bring the humidity up even more tomorrow. Notice at 2, 3 o'clock, hey, still some spotty showers and a few storms out there. If that's the case, maybe that shades us from the sun, keeps the temperatures down a little bit, but your humidity is going to come up. So either way, I think tomorrow's going to be pretty hot and humid. Eventually, we'll get some sunshine in there. So tomorrow's cloud cover might spare us from an otherwise hotter day here in the region. If we're talking about the heat real quick before we jump back to the storms, you'll see here tomorrow's severe weather threat, I think, is really in northern Illinois into Michigan, Indiana, northern Indiana, even into Ohio. Might be a little lower there, but by Thursday, Friday, temperatures heading for the upper 90s, heat index values, maybe even to the 110s by Friday. Friday, probably the hottest day. Still might be hot for some of us into Saturday, but there's a bit of a front coming through Saturday. So that's some good news for us as we look forward to some changes out here in the region. All right, let's talk real quick again, the update on storms. Got the severe thunderstorm warning till 11 o'clock about 12 minutes from now. It looks like that storm's crossing the county line, so I suspect there's going to be some hail for Brockton and Borton before long. They're probably drawing up a new warning. They are probably chalking up a new warning for that storm, and so we will see what happens if they do that. The hail size, I mean, it's not going to be as big as it was earlier. Well, there's still going to be something in the Oakland area. Again, where this is here, you know, it might be more here, it might be not, but I bet north of Oakland might be the bit larger hail. Hey, it's still saying maybe some golf balls mixed in there, so we'll see what happens. The size has been pretty impressive to watch here with some of these swaths. We know there's been hail in other areas as well. In fact, let me just bring the hail swath out, and I'll back it up. We'll even back it up. You can see here a little bit of hail near Assumption, and then Shelby County had some big hail, Moultrie, and then that huge hail reported in the Arcola area. And now seeing the hail kind of pick up a little bit there near the Oakland area. Did get a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to have what we call a considerable tag on it. The last warning had this as well. Essentially, when you see that tag say considerable, they're either warning that for golf ball size hail or 70-mile-per-hour winds. In this case, golf ball size hail possible for parts of Edgar County. 60-mile-an-hour winds also might be there. As we move to the east, we'll see how it plans out, but going to be some pretty big hail mixed in there, perhaps at times with this storm. And that warning is going to go until 11:30 as this core moves to the east. You know, looking at the direction it's heading, it's been pretty steady to the east. It might split the gap between Crispin and the north side of Paris with that warning, so that's something to watch here for the next little while. And keep an update. You know, that hail core now is kind of at the group of the county lines there where, you know, Edgar, Coles, and Douglas County come together, and so that's going to be an area that we watch with this particular. Crossing Illinois 49 between Borton and Brockton, some small little towns, Redmond, Garlands, then it'll slip across 150, more than likely between Paris and Crispin. Crispin, you're in the warning. Paris, you're also in the warning here. You know, you can't rule out maybe that southern part of the storm pulsing up a little bit, but at this point here, we're moving into Edgar County. If you're watching here, Tuscola, Arcola, you're watching on anywhere on US 36 in Douglas County. You're west of Hinesboro, along and west of 130. that'd be Hugo, Filson, Kemp areas. You're good now. Really, the last area we're watching for this storm is that little section of the county there. You really want to zoom in. That little corner south between Brockton and Oakland. That's all that's left. You know, Sargent's pretty much done with the hail, but that's something that we'll watch here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. You've done Douglas County. Coles County, Ashmore, Oakland. We'll watch that corridor, the eastern part of the county. Eventually it's going to cross Illinois 49 into Edgar County. It doesn't catch my attention as much, but still quite an impressive batch of storms there as it moves off to the east. So we will watch and see how that plans out here. Let me check my messages real quick. I've been getting see the occasional report or whatnot. Again, if you've got any reports, we really appreciate getting those reports. I know the National Weather Service is eager with hail size. Photos are great too. You get a photo. That helps out a lot with seeing the size, and so we will keep you updated on that. Just checking here. Folks saying, kind of reading through these reports on what's showing up.
Here's what I found.
Whoop. Apple Watch having a little fun with me here. Some hail in Arcola, some hail in Oakland. And again, the thing about this is, you know, we had some areas that had that tennis ball size hail in Douglas County. It's a small area. So, you know, there's maybe only, you know, if it's in a rural area, there might be a couple of households that are affected by that. Even if it goes through a town, one side of town might have quarters to golf balls. The other side might have dimes and nickels and pennies. So that's something, too, where we sometimes deal with that as it moves on through. So we will watch, keep an update. Let me see here. My chat has kind of disappeared, it looks like. So if you've got a message you've sent about a hail size in the last 5 minutes, my chat just kind of gave up on me here. Would appreciate if you just let me know in the chat, hey, I got hail this size, and I'm looking at this. All that's appreciated with it. Looks like now the hail core is going to be on 49 and Illinois 133 near the Borton-Brockton area. And it's been pulsing up. It's not as strong as it was earlier. Boy, was it a strong storm earlier. There's still going to be some other hail there across Edgar County, I'm sure. I'll pull up the hail size real quick, and we'll just get an estimate. You know, there might be some small hail. You see some light grays. That's usually penny size, maybe. Maybe even smaller than that, dime size. Pea size, potentially even at times. But looks like most of the hail has been over the Oakland area from this. And, you know, out there northeast of Arcola, along 133 and off to the east. We'll probably get some farmers that report back to us before long and say, hey, yeah, I've had some hail. That's been the case for me here, so we'll see what happens with that. For whatever reason, my chat has given up on me. I don't have any chat from folks, and that's okay. I saw some and it just kind of disappeared. So that's the case. Chat asking, my weather app not giving me live stream and weather warnings. If you are in the polygon, now, Chad, you got to live within the polygon to get the weather alerts. So if you're watching in Tuscola or out there, you know, you weren't under the severe thunderstorm warning at your exact location. Even though the warning is for Douglas County, you would not get that alert. You got to be in the polygon to get the weather alert. And so those have been going out. So that might be one reason why. If not, you could go into your settings and make sure that you've got live alerts and selected your location. That's probably the easiest way to check. Chat saying Matt Toon. Yeah, Matt Toon was in that warning, I think, earlier. So you want to go to your app and check. Sometimes, too, if you're in my iPhone, I usually keep it in the silent mode. If you're in silent mode, it also can sometimes prevent it. So that is... let's just block them, get rid of that. That is something that can happen occasionally where... you know, the iPhone doesn't give you notifications because you got your personal settings set off. So go into the app, check your other thing, and see what happens as we're moving through. Getting some pea-size reports in Oakland. We've got some quarters in Hinesboro, quarters in Oakland. Kind of watching and seeing what happens here. So getting a few messages as well. So if you've got a video or something, let us know. Appreciate that. Appreciate those reports that you send on in. So these types of storms here, let's pull up my radar really quick. You're really seeing the storm kind of intensify a little bit in coverage in the northern part of the county up towards Chrisman. So might be getting a lot of lightning and some hail up there. There's a lot of lightning. This is an electric storm here. I needed to check the sky cams in town and turn it a little bit to the south and east. So we'll take the stadium one, see if we can't see that. It's a bit of ways away, but let's see, that's looking... Try to get my bearings on the camera here. So there we go. We're going to turn more to the south and east. And if I see anything, I'll pop it up here. Oh, yeah, whew, wow. Yeah, I'm going to pop that up. Let me put the studio camera up here, and you can see the lightning show from Champaign. Let's turn the camera. I was like, whew, wow. Let's get that popping up here. Chrisman, I think we're going to get some lightning, maybe a little bit of hail in town there. Okay, that's the wrong Champaign camera. That is stunning to see. Now, I know that some folks are probably saying, hey, there's heat lightning. Not heat lightning, that's an actual storm here. And, you know, it's over Edgar County. You're probably seeing the lightning. Iroquois County, Springfield's probably seeing it. Effingham definitely seeing it off to the east there. That certainly is... pretty impressive to see. Okay, I just saw a message, and they disappeared again. That is so weird. I saw 1 4/10 in Arcola. I think Dale said that. Dale, was that hail or was that rain? Be curious to know if that's hail or rain from that report. So if you've got that, let me know. Seems like whenever I reset my screen size, it affects it a bit. Yeah, so. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch this storm in the background. If I need to do another check-in, I'm gonna come in at about 10 minutes or so. I'm just gonna pull the graphics up full screen, so that way I can take care of a few things behind the scenes here. And I'm gonna leave that. Reports are appreciated. Oop, wrong button. Let me just add this button. There we go. I'm going to mute it. Take care of a few things. I'll be back here at about 11:10. In the meantime, enjoy the lightning show. All right, folks, we're back a little early here. We thought we'd be back at 11:10, but got what I wanted to get done here. So a couple of you watching now, late. Let me get this little caption here to go away. So let me see if I can get that to drop, and then we'll get back to business here. Interesting signature now between Paris and Chrisman. Going to be some large hail continuing there, and the wind threat might be something we got to watch as well here. So if there's any Edgar County wind reports, we would appreciate that. Certainly looks like some pretty strong wind. In that area. So, oops, I broke that. And then if you got any reports too, the size of hail is always appreciated. Let me know if you get any photos. That's always appreciated. We like to see if there's any, photos and something to go here. So, all right, National Weather Service now has just updated the warning. All clear in Douglas and Coles County. Edgar County, though, really strong wind coming in now between Paris and Chrisman. There might be some 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts now based on the latest indication. See those bright blues there? Really interesting to see this pan out. It could be quite the wind. I think the warning is just for, let me pop the graphics on real quick. I think it's ping pong ball and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts what we're looking at. So velocity product-wise there. Really intense wind signatures there, so be really curious to have any wind reports from that area. And we think the hail threat might increase with that as well, to be totally honest. So really a strong storm. Just kind of looking at things here, the wind signature in there really quite impressive. Let me switch. I'm going to kind of use some different radar products here. You see that strong wind, a lot of straight line winds sneaking down there along 150 between Paris and Chrisman. Could see some 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with that. So we really think that the Chrisman to Paris now, the wind, and then the hail threat also with that. Wind-blown hail, that's not fun. I'm going to switch to our Indianapolis product here. You kind of use as many different products as we can and see what's going on. I got to switch some stuff around here because I got a little error in my graphics. It's kind of funky looking. Let me just fix that really fast. Put that there and see if that does what I want it to do. Okay, there we go. So the base velocity looks a lot better there. That's Indianapolis. And then just kind of evaluating as many different radars as I can. A lot of strong wind. That's some power outages reported. Yeah, the power going out in Paris. There's some big-time problems here in Edgar County. Ash is saying there's power. Really concerned for Paris to Chrisman right now with large hail. We could be seeing the hail pick back up in size, and we might see some greater than 2-inch hail with this here as it moves off to the east. I'm kind of looking at a lot of different things at once now. Storm kind of showing signs of re-strengthening as it moves off to the east here, and so that certainly has our attention. I know I'm going to get the question, is the tornado threat something I need to worry about? I don't really see that with this particular storm, but you can still get really nasty winds. And I won't say never with this particular storm. But the wind is enough of a problem here across the center part of the county where there might be some issues. So that's certainly on the table where we could have some pretty, interesting signature there as it moves on through. This is going to cross into Indiana, north of Terre Haute, be Clinton, Indiana, downstream with wind next. For those who live down there, we think there could be some greater than 2-inch hail eventually in the next couple of minutes, and 70-mile-an-hour winds is a possibility with this storm. That's going to be between Crispin and Paris at this point. This is the only storm of the day, the only storm we've got this evening. We zoom out here. Oop, couple of little spots, a little cell. That's the mean one there. Pretty dry and clear here for the rest of the area, so that's certainly something we are watching. Okay, ping pong balls reported 4 miles north of Oakland. So yeah, there's a lot of real estate not getting anything. We're here right now for Edgar County, and there is some concern for the Paris, the Wetzel area, Horace. This is a pretty rural area in here. There's not a whole lot that's in there. This will be coming towards Hunter, Broilets Creek. Don't know that one. Stratton. A lot of these are township names or old little spots that used to be there, but between Crispin and Paris now on 150, that's the greatest problem I think we'll have here. And that warning's been extended into Indiana as well now. We talked about Clinton, Indiana, eventually across the state line. Once it does that, we get this hail core out of here, then we might be looking a little better. You can see there's pink colors. See how tall these storms are. That's, sheesh, what? That's 10 miles tall. These storms are 10 miles high. Gee whiz. Just had that product on the side. I haven't used it much, but that is impressive to see here. The one warning there, again, you can see the hail probably most north side of Paris. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some hail reports here from Paris before long, but I think the worst of the hail is going to be north of town, and so we will watch that closely here. And whatnot. Let me just kind of check through the comments, check through the messenger. It's late at night. Folks probably aren't wanting to go out and look, and that's okay. Wait till the storm's over. If you can see out the window, that's always good too. But worth checking. And I'm gonna pull up some of the Facebook comments and see if we've got any specific reports. Just checking here. Kind of checking the comments here. So far, I've not heard of any wind damage from these storms, but I do know that there are some power outages in the area. We've just got some initial reports of that from viewers. My power outage tracker that I have does report some outages in Montgomery and in Christian County, and that seems to be Ameren specific. I've not gotten any numbers yet for Edgar County. That hasn't come in yet. These reports are pretty early, and sometimes it takes a little while for the outage maps to pick up and detect where those are. As I look here, looks like a lot of those outages from earlier from Morrisonville. I don't even know if that would be storm related. I don't think they had any storms over there. So that might be something else that's caused that. We don't really have too much in the way of storm related outages. Here for this storm in Paris area, and I'm just looking at my radar products and watching things here. It looks like the core of the wind now is north of town, crossing 150. Moving off to the east there. That's some pretty impressive wind on the leading edge of it there as it pushes on through. Moving east at 25 mile an hour. So probably about 15 minutes, we'll be done here, I think, for the night. That's some good news. I'd like to go home and get a little sleep. But in the meantime, we're here with the storms. I know folks probably are watching, and that's fine. I do not see any rotation with this. I think it's mainly straight line winds, and it's mainly the hail. So that's the good news. There's a lot of wind there. In fact, one problem we have in Edgar County is the radar is so far away that we're looking at 5,000–6,000 feet. We still get a good view at that point, but there's a lot of real estate between that ground and 5,000 feet that can happen. But radar is estimating over 70-mile-an-hour winds there in Edgar County, and so that's something we'll be keeping an eye on here. I'm trying to think of what's up there. I've driven that several times on Route 1. Looks like the worst of it's staying south of all right. Just getting some more hail reports from my buddy Nick down in the Oakland area. I'd say that wind's probably going to be pretty close to the Edgar County Airport. I'm going to log in, see if we got any reports from the Edgar County Airport. Any wind gusts that have come from there. You kind of wonder with these storms if it's, are these storms elevated, separated from the ground surface layer of air? Are they in line with that? And sometimes you just don't quite know. So what I'm going to do here is just check some observations, see if anything came in from the Edgar County Airport. They've got reports of plenty of thunder and whatnot, but wind there really hasn't shown up much. So maybe, well, that is one site. We'll see at the next check. Last check was, last check was 10:55. So we'll see what the 11:15 one shows here in a minute. And I don't know if the National Weather Service can see that minute by minute, or if that's let me check I can see every 20 minutes in my stuff, but I want to see more than that. Well, I can tell you what else I can do here. Let's just see if there's been any gusts. I don't know if this is going to show anything here the way I want it to. It's not picking up on any. That's okay. NWS data. Gonna check some of the data sets that we have, and it's going to be an ASOS. We're going to go to Illinois. This storm is firmly over Edgar County now. This is an Edgar County issue. Coles, Douglas County, you're okay. We're just here hanging out with Edgar County, Paris to Crispin zone. Pretty quickly that leading edge will get out and we will be done with it. Okay, so we've got Paris. Try and log in and see if I can get an update on it. Yeah, I haven't got an update. That's just how it goes sometimes. Okay, we will see what this storm does. It looks like maybe, to me, the wind kind of blowing out ahead of it. That leading edge now of the wind is probably into Indiana here. So that might be a State Route 63 problem for Clinton and whatnot. We'll see how that pans out, but I think in the next 5–10 minutes we'll probably wrap up our coverage in this area and go from there. So, yeah. Any reports you got are appreciated. Let me pull up the chat real quick. Nicole says, lives outside of Crispin, power is out. No power south into Paris. Power out south of Crispin. Good winds in Georgetown. Not surprised by that number of power outages popping in from Edgar County. I'm sure we'll get an update on what that is. Someone will let us know. Let's see what the traffic map, if there's anything that pops up, sometimes there'll be a slowdown. So, yeah, we'll keep pushing the storms off to the east and get them out of here. But we know there's some outages in the Edgar County area. We've had some wind damage reports from those areas. Some Okay, just getting some information here. It's late at night. We're just here hanging out. That's how this works. This isn't anything official or whatnot. But you know, I'm sure someone will be like, oh, this ain't very professional. Well, hey, it's 11:30, and I'm just here hanging out with folks, particularly for Edgar County. But thinking that the worst of the storm is shifted into Vermilion County, Indiana, Park County, Indiana, Vigo County, Indiana. So before long, we'll wrap up. So what we do, we tend to hang out on digital platforms whenever storms like this happen. So we'll keep you updated. Okay, James is out of power in Paris. Sue, hey Sue. From the frost stop, Sue's letting me know Crispin still has power where she is. There's some outages outside of town, so you know, not everyone's going to be affected, but Sue up there is telling me Crispin still has power. If you've ever been to the frost stop at Crispin, that's a great place. Great to go there. Love that. So that's what we got here. Still got the warning for Edgar County. I think it goes until, if I remember correctly, it's 11:45. Let's see if the graphic pops up. It goes to 11:30. So hey, we're 4 minutes away or so from perhaps this warning dropping. That warning's been extended for a $0.5 hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds into Indiana. That'll be Park, Vermilion, and Vigo County, Indiana. It's out of our area. Edgar County, we watch for you on the Illinois side there. We got a lot of viewers in Crispin and along 36, even out into Paris, a big following there. So the severe thunderstorm warning continues, some 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and some large hail reported with these storms. So if you got any reports, let us know. We will keep an eye on them and keep watching things play out here. And again, I'm just trying to absorb as many different sources of information as we can. Let's do this too while we're kind of waiting here to get the all clear, or at least the wind down for the night. Storms have pretty much been a problem for some of us. Isolated, we had some areas pop up. Some spots got some good rain out of this. Let's see what the 3 and 6 hour rainfall. You know, there might have been some 1 to 2 inch rainfall areas in some isolated spots, but some spots getting a good drink of rain there. Shelby, Moultrie, Douglas, Coles, Edgar County. A lot of spots missed out. We got the briefest of downpours here in Champaign. I think it poured for like 3 minutes at the station, and that's it. There could be some more storms that develop. Really, we're kind of on watching conditionally how things play out as we go through tonight and into tomorrow. You know, if a storm pops up, we got to watch it. There's a lot of instability. I tend to think we'll be good. It might be 4, 5, 6 in the morning when the next chance develops. Adam will be in by that time and keeping an eye on things. We'll see, but I think we're probably going to be okay once this batch keeps moving off to the east. We look at the hail size here. I mean, that's come down a lot. We were in the purples, even at one time in the red and oranges there, getting really huge hail. In Douglas County, tennis balls reported in the Arcola area. You can see here we're in that grays. That's less than an inch. So we'll see what happens. But I think that warning is going to be done here for us in a little bit. Looks like the worst of the storms kind of in the Clinton area by now. Clinton in Vermilion County, Illinois. So we'll be able to say see ya to that storm as it moves off. So that's kind of what we got. There might be a little bit of wind gust still south of Scotland towards the state line there. So we'll kind of keep an eye on things and watch it for the most part. I think we're going to be okay here for the rest of the night. Should be fine to sleep. I'm going to go home. Probably get a snack after this. Might make some cookies. Who knows, right? I say that out loud and see if my wife's watching. Teasing. But anyways, 2 minutes away from the warning being expired for the Edgar County. Still a storm there. Still some heavy rain, plenty of lightning. You know, you're not done with the lightning yet there in Edgar County. I do think, though, the general trend is that this storm is on the weakening side, and I think that's going to allow us to wrap up our coverage here. I mean, there's still 570 lightning strikes with this, so so some pretty impressive lightning strikes. That's certainly, these storms have been electric, that's for sure. Okay, James saying there's power lines down in Paris, lines on fire. James, do you have a location of that by chance? Any information on a location would be appreciated. I don't think we have the ability to watch, get much more information out of that, but there it is. All right, warnings dropped. There's still a storm in Paris. Blackburn Street in Paris. I'm assuming the power outage numbers will pop in before long. James, if you got more information on that, Treat come down with it too, or any reports, you know, we appreciate your reports. We'll probably stick around a little bit longer just for some of those reports and whatnot. Always good to make sure we got everything covered in reports-wise, and I'll do another quick run through. But warning is done. It's still raining hard in Paris, I'm sure. That doesn't surprise me at all. Let's just check the Facebook. We'll check everything else, see what we got going on here, but it looks like kind of checking some info here before we wrap up. Just I think about 50,000 places I can read reports from here, and kind of checking through that. I know some of you are probably just sitting here watching, you know, hey, what? I don't even know what kind of TV is on at 11:30 at night, so maybe this is your entertainment. If that's the case, thanks for sticking with us here. So that's what we got. So, okay, you got any reports? send them my way. Would appreciate that. I'm going to wrap this up here, kind of do a few little last-minute things. You got any reports, you can send them in my Facebook Messenger, post them on my page, anything like that. I'll try and capture them and forward them on. We know there's outages in Edgar County. That probably would get them fixed at least at nighttime, so the heat and humidity is not as bad, but we hope they get them on by tomorrow. Not a widespread issue, but we'll see what those numbers indicate. You got any hail reports as well, let us know. Would appreciate that information. Send it our way if you can. That is what I got for you. Have a great night. Thanks for sticking with us, and we will catch you later. Take care.